Welcome back to W Facts. Ever wondered about chickens, flamingos, or why onions make you cry? Today, we'll tackle 20 mind-blowing why questions that will make you laugh, learn, and maybe sneeze. Let's jump right in. 1. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? This question has baffled humans for centuries, from philosophers like Aristotle to modern scientists. At first glance, it seems like a true paradox. But science offers a surprisingly clear answer. The egg came first. Millions of years ago, well before chickens existed, ancient birds that looked nothing like today's chickens were already laying eggs. Over generations, small genetic mutations occurred. At some point, one special bird, let's call it a proto-chicken, laid an egg. And due to a genetic mutation inside that egg, the first true chicken hatched. Thus, the egg existed before the modern chicken. In a way, evolution used eggs as its workshop to slowly sculpt new species. So, every time you crack an egg into a pan, remember, you're holding a tiny time capsule of evolutionary magic. 2. Why do we say, "bless you," when someone sneezes? The custom of saying, "bless you," after a sneeze dates back to ancient superstitions. Long ago, sneezing was thought to momentarily expel the soul from the body, leaving a brief opening for evil spirits to sneak in. A quick, "bless you," served as a verbal shield, protecting the sneezer from spiritual harm. Later, during the bubonic plague in the 6th century, Pope Gregory I recommended saying, "God bless you," after a sneeze because sneezing was often an early symptom of the deadly disease. Blessings were a way to offer a quick prayer for survival. Today, the phrase persists mostly out of habit and politeness. No evil spirits involved, just good manners and a touch of ancient tradition. So next time you sneeze and hear a "bless you," smile. You've been spiritually insured for free. 3. Why do flamingos stand on one leg? At first glance, flamingos balancing gracefully on one leg might seem like a circus trick. However, this quirky pose serves a vital purpose. Standing on one leg reduces the amount of body heat lost to the cool water they often wade in. Flamingos have a unique locking mechanism in their legs that lets them stay balanced with minimal muscular effort. Even while sleeping, it's like having a biological kickstand. Interestingly, studies have shown that flamingos are actually more stable on one leg than on two. In the wild, energy conservation is everything, and less shivering means more surviving. Plus, let's be honest, if you could stand elegantly like that for hours, you probably would too. 4. Why do leaves fall off trees in autumn? As days grow shorter and temperatures drop, trees begin a survival strategy for winter. Leaves, while essential for photosynthesis, lose water rapidly and are vulnerable to freezing damage. To conserve energy and water, trees form a special layer of cells at the base of each leaf stem called the abscission layer. This layer slowly cuts off the flow of nutrients, causing the leaves to change color and eventually fall off. Without leaves, trees reduce water loss and avoid damage from heavy snow and ice. In short, it's nature's way of preparing trees for a long, cold nap. And for us, it's the perfect excuse to jump into piles of crunchy leaves every fall. 5. Why do cats knead with their paws? Kneading is one of the cutest and most mysterious behaviors in domestic cats. Kittens need their mothers to stimulate milk flow during nursing, creating an early association between kneading and comfort. As adults, cats continue kneading when they feel relaxed, happy, or are marking their territory with scent glands in their paws. It's a deep-seated instinct that ties back to their earliest moments of life. Kneading also helps them stretch their muscles and prepare a comfy spot for sleeping, a habit inherited from wild ancestors who would pad down grass or leaves before settling in. So when your cat digs into your lap with its little paws, take it as a weird but sincere form of affection. Congratulations! You've been lovingly pounded into ownership. 6. Why do fingers wrinkle in water? Ever noticed your fingers turn wrinkly after a long bath? It's not just because your skin soaks up water. Your body is actively doing it, on purpose. When your skin gets wet, your nervous system triggers blood vessels under the skin to constrict. This causes the skin above to shrink into wrinkles. Scientists believe it's an evolutionary trick. The wrinkles improve grip on wet surfaces, like natural tire treads. So next time you drop the soap, just blame evolution for not wrinkling fast enough. 7. Why are bananas curved? Bananas aren't just trying to look fancy. Their curve is a clever survival tactic. When banana plants flower, the fruit initially points toward the ground due to gravity. But as bananas grow, they bend upwards, reaching for sunlight in a phenomenon known as negative geotropism. By curving toward the sun, bananas ensure better exposure to light, which helps them ripen properly. Inside each growing banana, hormones called auxins redistribute toward the shaded side, causing faster cell growth there and making the fruit bend upward. So, next time you peel a banana, remember, you're holding a tiny botanical gymnast doing a perfect backbend. 8. Why does your stomach growl when you're hungry? That awkward rumbling noise in your stomach? It has a fancy name, borborygmi. Your digestive system is always moving food, gas, and fluids around with muscular contractions called peristalsis. When your stomach and intestines are empty, the sounds produced by these movements echo loudly, creating that growling noise. Interestingly, your brain triggers hunger growls to remind you to eat, even if you're not truly starving. In ancient times, responding quickly to these cues helped humans survive long periods without food. Today, it mostly just embarrasses you during important meetings. Think of it as your body's way of shouting, "Dinner, now." 9. Why do zebras have stripes? At first glance, zebra stripes might seem like flashy fashion choices, but they serve serious purposes. One theory is that the stripes confuse predators like lions. When zebras run as a herd, the moving stripes create optical illusions that make it hard for predators to single out one target. Another idea is that stripes help regulate body temperature by creating tiny air currents on the zebra's skin. Stripes also seem to repel biting insects like horseflies, which are less likely to land on striped surfaces. So, in short, zebras are wearing full body armor disguised as high fashion. 10. Why do we hiccup? Hiccups are odd little spasms that trace back to our ancient evolutionary history. Millions of years ago, our distant aquatic ancestors needed to control breathing rhythms while living both in water and on land. The hiccup reflex, a sudden closure of the glottis in the throat, is a leftover from those amphibious days. Today, hiccups are usually triggered when the diaphragm, the muscle below your lungs, gets irritated. This can happen after eating too quickly, drinking carbonated beverages, or even sudden excitement. It's your body throwing a tiny, ancient tantrum. Basically, hiccups are your inner fish having a flashback. 11. Why do ice cubes crack when you pour water on them? When you pour warm or hot water onto a cold ice cube, it undergoes something called thermal shock. The outer layer of the ice cube heats up and expands much faster than the cold inner core. Because solids resist sudden changes, the difference in temperature causes stress within the structure of the ice. This stress builds until tiny fractures form, leading to that familiar cracking sound. The hotter the water and the colder the ice, the more dramatic the cracks. It's a rapid, microscopic battle between expansion and rigidity. Basically, when you shock an ice cube with hot water, it freaks out and breaks apart in protest. 12. Why is the ocean blue? The ocean appears blue because of the way water absorbs and scatters sunlight. Water absorbs colors from the red, orange, and yellow end of the light spectrum very efficiently. Blue light waves, which are shorter and scatter more easily, are reflected back to our eyes. The deeper and purer the water, the bluer it looks because there are fewer particles to disrupt the light scattering. In shallow water or when there are lots of algae or sediment, the ocean may look green, brown, or even red. So the next time you gaze at the sea and wonder at its color, remember, it's all about light, depth, and a little bit of ocean magic. Mother Nature, the ultimate visual effects artist. 13. Why do onions make you cry? Cutting into an onion unleashes a chemical warfare of sorts. When the onion cells are broken, they release enzymes called ulunases. These enzymes react with sulfur-containing compounds to form a gas called syn-propanedyl S-oxide. When this gas reaches your eyes, it reacts with the water on your eyeballs to form a mild sulfuric acid. Your eyes immediately start producing tears to wash the irritant away. It's the onion's last defense mechanism, a plant's way of saying, "Hey, stop eating me." Next time you cry while cooking, don't blame your feelings, blame plant chemistry. 14. Why do your ears pop on airplanes? Flying high and feeling that sudden pop in your ears? That happens because air pressure outside your body changes rapidly as you ascend or descend. Your ears have a tiny tube called the eustachian tube, which helps balance the pressure inside and outside your eardrums. When the tube doesn't adjust quickly enough, your eardrum gets stretched, causing that blocked feeling, and then a pop when the pressure equalizes. Chewing gum, yawning, or swallowing helps open the tube faster. So next time your ears pop mid-flight, just think of it as your body's tiny airlock working overtime. 15. Why can't you tickle yourself? Have you ever tried tickling yourself? It doesn't work, right? That's because your brain is way ahead of you. When you try to tickle yourself, the cerebellum, the part of your brain that predicts movement, sends a message to the rest of your nervous system. It basically says, "Hey, we know this is coming. No need to panic." Because your brain already expects the sensation, it cancels the surprise, and the tickle reflex doesn't trigger. But when someone else tickles you, the unpredictability activates your defense systems, making you squirm and laugh. So yes, your brain is basically the ultimate spoiler, ruining your own jokes. 16. Why do mosquitoes love some people more than others? Ever feel like mosquitoes throw a party every time you step outside? It's not your imagination. Mosquitoes are incredibly picky. They're attracted to people who emit more carbon dioxide, have higher body heat, or stronger body odors. Surprisingly, your blood type also matters. Studies show mosquitoes prefer people with type O blood over types A or B. Even what you wear affects them. Dark colors attract more mosquitoes than light ones. So if you're getting eaten alive while your friends barely notice a bite, congratulations! You're the VIP buffet of the mosquito world. 17. Why do cats always land on their feet? Cats have a superpower called the righting reflex. This instinctive ability kicks in when a cat falls. As soon as they sense they're upside down, cats twist their flexible spines midair without needing to push off anything. They first rotate their head and front legs, then their back legs follow, allowing them to align their body to land safely on all fours. This incredible skill develops when kittens are just 3 to 4 weeks old. Some cats have even survived falls from over 30 stories high, earning the nickname cat parachute. Basically, gravity is just a minor inconvenience to cats. 18. Why can crocodiles survive without food for months? Crocodiles are some of nature's toughest survivors. In harsh conditions, they can lower their metabolism to almost zombie-like levels. They hardly move, barely breathe, and can survive on almost no energy for months, sometimes even up to a year. They do this by conserving energy, reducing their heartbeat to just 2 or 3 beats per minute. When prey finally comes close, they explode into action with lightning speed. So crocodiles aren't lazy, they're just experts at extreme energy saving. Nature's original power savers, who also happen to be deadly. 19. Why can octopuses escape through tiny holes? Octopuses are escape artists worthy of their own magic show. Their bodies are made almost entirely of soft muscle, no bones. No skeleton. The only hard part of an octopus is its beak, located at the center of its body. As long as the beak fits through an opening, the rest of the octopus can ooze through effortlessly. That's why octopuses can escape from sealed jars, aquarium tanks, and even tiny cracks in rocks. Basically, they're like living liquid with a passport to freedom. 20. Why are flamingos pink? Believe it or not, flamingos aren't born pink. They're actually gray or white. Their famous pink color comes entirely from their diet. Flamingos eat shrimp, algae, and other foods rich in pigments called carotenoids. These pigments get absorbed by the flamingo's liver and deposited in their feathers, skin, and beaks. Without a steady diet of carotenoid-rich food, flamingos would stay dull and pale. So next time you see a bright pink flamingo, just remember, that bird is literally what it eats. Mind officially blown. Thanks for joining WFacts on this journey through 20 fascinating why questions. If you loved learning something new today, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell for more amazing facts every week. Stay curious and stay awesome.